All right, on this episode of Bare Knuckle Bowker, very excited to be chatting with an individual who is set to throw down on the upcoming BKFC Fight Night on May the 2nd, and a very curious fight, one I'm very excited for, and I'm sure that's a shared sentiment among the Bare Knuckle faithful out there as Samuel Ace Samples gets out there with Michael Larrimore, and great having Michael on Bare Knuckle Bowker today. How's it going, man?
I'm awesome, brother. I'm blessed as always. How are you?
Yeah, no, doing great for sure, and just seemed like you were getting in some work a bit before this interview. What were you getting up to there?
I've been training since about 9:10 this morning. I had 9-10 rounds of sparring, then I did 25 in the sauna, came home, picked my daughter up, and then I hit 5 miles, and here we are, brother.
And just, I mean, I feel like it's always a great time to be part of that fold at Shift, but just seems like a lot of great things happening just with the representation on this card as well. Just, Crystal Pittman and Jared Warren also featuring on this event. Like that has to be a cool dynamic, I would think, at least.
Yeah, it is, dude. I'm surrounded by world champions and just top-notch talent. You know what I mean? And our coaching staff at that, dude. I'm very grateful to be in the positions I'm in. I'm part of two teams actually, so I'm part of Gracie West Chase. That's where I do MMA out of, and I'm of course part of Shifts where I do all my boxing training at.
Yeah, and I mean, just Jessica Borgia capturing some gold as well recently. I mean, championship hardware is certainly not uncommon at Shift and everything, just with Warren being a former champion and Dave Mundell being the middleweight champion as well as the number one pound for pound. So just love to see it.
Yeah, dude, I have no choice but to show up and get better every day training with the likes of those guys. Dude, I had literal tears in my eyes when Borgia won that belt, dude. So shout out Borgia. She fucking earned that, dude. That was amazing for me.
Yeah, well, that was an incredible finish over a highly pedigreed opponent for sure. But I was seeing on your 2024 bucket list on social media, it seemed like you were able to accomplish quite a few of your things on that list. But I guess it got me kind of wondering, like, what, I guess, express goals do you have mapped out for this particular calendar year?
Yeah, for this year, I need to be active both in BKFC and MMA. I had a relatively inactive year last year. I only got to fight twice, and I look to compete 3 to 5 times a year minimum. So I need numbers, man. I'm looking to get active and stay active.
And it's kind of cool because you're allowed to like really explore those independent contractor opportunities with being a fighter. Like it seems like a lot of the bare knuckle leagues and stuff like that are pretty receptive to the idea of just, guys getting outside opportunities in other combat sports. So it must be really exciting for you to concurrently be able to do bare knuckle boxing and mixed martial arts as well.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I can say they they want you they want you to get those opportunities, but they want you to win those opportunities as well. Is the big thing because they're putting all their money into you and XYZ, so they want to make sure that their fighters are winners in and out of the organization. So I have to make sure that I pick the right matchups inside the organization as well as outside of the organization. It's a really fun game to play, man. I love seeing all sides of the shit, dude. It's so cool.
Yeah, and is it something that you find hard to strike a balance with a little bit, or is it more just like whatever the next assignment is coming up, you zero in your approach on curating your camp in a specific way, whether it's a BKFC opportunity or something within MMA?
Yeah, I'm very goal oriented. So once I get like a contract and a guy, I get real excited and I really hone in on it. But when, say, I'm without a fight or a couple of maybes, I do everything. So I'm always doing jujitsu. I'm always doing my boxing, of course. I'm always wrestling. I'm always doing my clinch work. I stay ready overall, but so obviously now, like we're getting ready for a bare knuckle bout. So the majority of my training and the majority of my sparring is boxing only. But I still like get down with some wrestling, man, and kicking folks in the head. Why not?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's just I feel like you've had such like a quick rise in the sport. Like it kind of seems like you've been in it longer than you have been because like I was reading in some of the source material on you, it was talking about how you began in kind of like the earlier stretches of 2023, but it seems like you've made a really big impact. Like how has the BKFC journey been for you overall up until this juncture?
It's been so cool, man. I used to joke growing up about doing something of the nature because we would do it in the backyard, man. Me and my friends, we would put on hand wraps only, and we would spar, and it never lasted long. And fast forward 8, 10 years later, dude, I'm in the sport, man. And my first two bouts were on 2 days' notice, both of them. And so for me, as a man of faith, I see no coincidence in anything. That was all God, man. He shows up and shows off, and I step into it, dude. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, it's funny you referenced that because I was seeing a post on Instagram throwing it back to 2014 of you scrapping with, I guess, a fellow lad in the backyard. I wasn't really sure who the individual was, but it seems like bare knuckles been on your radar for a while, to your point.
Yeah, that one. We were friends previous to the fight, but during the fight, we weren't. He had just been saying some silly shit at school, dude. Talk about like he's gonna show me what it was like to fight a grown man, and I was like, Dylan. His name's Dylan. I was like, we're in 10th grade. I'm not a grown man. You're not a grown man. But if you want to get your ass beat, that's fine. Just meet me here. I think we met up like right after school. I beat him up, dude. Broke my hand on his face. Poor kid wore makeup to school the next day. We were friends again after that. But I had fun with it, dude. He was. I live for it. I love that shit.
I'm kind of realizing that it's maybe a bit of a weird thought process on my end because like I used to kind of have like a buddy back in the day that we would just sometimes like fight each other for fun and like a lot of our friends were kind of confused. Like it's like, aren't you guys friends? It's like, yeah, well, yeah, we're just doing this because it's a good time. But I guess good to hear that you guys had that resolution point after that whole fight.
Yeah, man. I had beat him up enough, and I was talking to him during the fight as well. Just like, "Look, I told you, you shouldn't have really done this, man. But it's all good. I still love you." Big pink hit him again. Are you okay? You all right? All right, we'll go again. And then all love at school the next day. Like I said, poor kid had to wear makeup, man. Who knows what he's doing now? But hopefully he's living himself a good life.
Yeah, maybe he can take some solace in the beating considering what you're doing in BKFC.
Hey, y'all, fuck that guy one time.
Yeah, yeah.
That's funny as shit.
But yeah, just curious to get some thought processes on this. I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't at least touch on the last outing in a cursory way. And part of why I guess, want to touch on it is because I was speaking to Jared Warren the other day, and I was asking if he was like, I guess, imparting any advice to you about just rebounding from any kind of setback like that. Because Warren himself was looking to rebound from, was slash is on this card, looking to rebound from that setback against Mike Richmond and everything like that. Like, how invaluable is it to, I guess, have someone like that in your camp that's able to like impart, very productive, helpful advice within a moment like that, just kind of looking to get things back on track and all.
It's so cool, man, just being surrounded by championship mindsets and championship talent like that. And at the end of the day, it wasn't, I still don't feel like Keith is a better fighter than me, but he caught me, and that was the first and last time in my career that I've ever been caught like that. And a funny little insight to that was the first punch he landed actually took away vision, just about like 90% of it in both of my eyes. And I'm the type of dude where it's like kill or be killed. So it was either take a knee or go out on your shield. And I'll go out on my fucking shield every time, dude. So hats off to Keith, first of all. I wish him nothing but the best. But yeah, man, Jared and I have both been working. It's an honor for me to work alongside a guy like that who's been fighting since I was probably like 6 years old, dude. I'm only 26, you know what I mean? We're still just getting started, but I have a lot of people to look up to, man, and I'm surrounded by multitude of talent and just I have the coolest, biggest brothers and sisters you could ever ask for.
Yeah, and it just shows that like, you can be on one end or the other of certain outcomes in combat sports because you yourself notched a pretty quick finish over Daniel Gary in 22 seconds. So it's like sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail, all those classic tropes and whatnot, but still something true within that as well.
Yeah, man, no regrets whatsoever. It was a big opportunity, and if they offered it to me again right after Ace, I'm gonna say yes, and I'm gonna say yes twice. I live for these opportunities, man. I've waited my whole life for stuff like this to happen, so I will never ever shy away from a challenge, never shy away from an opportunity like that.
Yeah, and definitely want to touch on your fight at a certain point too, but I kind of wanted you to weigh in on a bit of a topic that I've been noticing at least like a little bit of Instagram discourse because you fought Justin Watson at BKFC 53 and notched an impressive win there. It seems like there's been some discourse lately about whether Yuli Diaz has the quickest knockout in history or if Justin Watson usurped him for the quickest knockout. Do you have any thoughts on that at all?
Uh, First, I just want to preface by saying I'm happy for Justin. It's good that he got a win. I think he might have the fastest finish. I'll give it to him. But that my name has been in his mouth since that because he had a million excuses as to why I beat him. I punched a guy in the nose and he tells me his collarbone hurts and that's why he quit. So we'll take that for what it is. I'm happy for him, but he needs to not let his one little victory get in his head and think that he's a man because we're still in two very, very different categories. And I'm very happy for him, but he needs to stay over there and keep my name out of his mouth because the next one would be much worse.
Do you get the sense that he wants to run that one back with you? Like, has he been trash talking a bit or something of that persuasion?
Yeah, I've heard a thing or two. I refuse to watch his interviews because the guy just mumbles and stumbles his way through sentences. But I was told that he did ask for that one back, and BKFC kind of just laughed at him. Like, it's just you got your one little win, but again, we're on two very separate paths, and we're not the same, man. I'm better than that guy in every way possible. All due respect to him, I'm not trying to sound arrogant, but it was a lucky punch. It is what it is. Happy for him. He should enjoy it, but enjoy it from over there and don't get yourself fucked up.
Well, there's so many BKFC 69 tie-ins. Like we touched on your last fight, Justin Watson secured that victory that we referenced on that card, and your upcoming opponent Ace Samples also got a first round knockout over Micah Livingston on that card. Just in terms of talking about people's, skill set, resume, etc. Like, how do you rate Ace Samples as an opponent?
Actually, excuse me for the drink here.
No worries.
It was actually him getting that win that made me want to fight him. I noticed, of course, we're in the same weight class, around the same size. I think he's a man of faith as well. So it seemed to me like it might make sense. And I was looking at either him or Livingston in that fight, and Ace got it done, dude. So I that was actually one that I had asked for, and by the grace of God, I got it. Very excited.
Yeah, that must be exciting, like mapping out a specific next challenge and then it panning out. Like when did the, I guess, contract offer become official and everything? So it would seem like there'd be a bit of time between, wanting that fight and then just it getting kind of committed to a contractual agreement. Like when did the talk really ramp up with that?
Yeah, it was a really quick process. Like my manager hit me. He's like, "Hey, you want the Ace one, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, we'll send the contract. Yes, I'll sign it right now." And probably within the next 14, 16 hours, we had the contract, man, and just started camp hot, finish it even hotter.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, just I guess how do you foresee like the looming, I guess, steps from here on out? I mean, you're probably squarely focused on the immediate task at hand, but just because we've been talking about splitting some time between MMA and bare knuckle, like just entertaining you get your ideal outcome here, would the desired next step be to get another BKFC fight with a quick enough turnaround, or maybe MMA, or just kind of circumstantial and depends on what offer comes your way?
Yeah, I think it's all circumstantial. Um, Ideally, BKFC would do what they do for a lot of the other guys, like the Justin Irabolas or Ibarola, however you say his last name. No disrespect, Justin. We're friends now. I want to be able to get as active as they get. They get wins and they get booked. I want to get a win and I want to get booked. And just between you and me, if that conversation isn't immediate, I'll probably take an MMA fight in between. Just kind of keep the ball rolling and keep myself focused and stay disciplined. And then whatever God wants me to do, man, I'm stepping through it.
Yeah, that's a good mindset because I mean, I like watching BKFC. I feel like sometimes there is certain dynamics though where people will kind of inexplicably be out of action for like long stretches of time and from like an outsider perspective, you don't really know what's going on as much. So just yeah, no, good to hear that you have different options available to you and you kind of have your own autonomy to do what you want to do. And it seems like you have aspirations to hold BKFC and UFC titles someday. So very big goals for sure.
Yeah, man, that is something that I will accomplish. It might take some time, and I don't expect it to be easy, but nothing worth having is easy. And so I'm willing to take the hard road. I'm made for these kind of things, and I will be BKFC world champion. And I will also be UFC world champion.
I guess to that point, what are your thoughts on the current landscape in the UFC, just with that rematch being announced relatively recently between Merab Dvalishvili and Sean O'Malley?
Oh, fuck, dude, I hate it, bro. Because of course, me being a striker, I love O'Malley, and me being a general MMA fan, I love the dominance of a guy like Merab. You know what I mean? And of course, my mind says Merab wins again, but the whole heart says, Sean, please come on, figure it out. So I hope it's a closer fight than it was the first time. And I would really, really like to see Sean get the belt back. That's actually one, not that I don't really think it'll happen because he's the type of guy, he's going to get his money and get out. He's a smart man. I really, really would like the opportunity to fight Sean O'Malley in the future. I don't know how long he's going to stick around, but like back in the day, it used to be Connor. I wanted to fight Connor so bad, dude, even if it meant getting my ass whooped. But since Connor is kind of just a businessman now, my guy for that now would be Sean O'Malley. I really want to fight Sean O'Malley.
That's interesting you say that because it seems like a lot of people are taking McGregor's words. I believe it was BKFC 70 in the post fight when he talked about the contentment he had in his career and stuff like that. Do you ultimately think Conor McGregor never competes in combat sports again?
Uh, I don't. I think he might make the walk, but I'm curious to see how competitive he actually makes it. If he's gonna put a full effort in, a full camp, or if he's gonna put a little effort in, take a loss, take his check, and go home. I don't know, but I can tell you, I love what he's doing for Bare Knuckle. I love that him and I have got to chat in person now. That guy was my fucking idol growing up, dude. And so the fact that I compete for an organization that he is a part of, that's good enough for me. I don't need to see him fight again personally. Of course, the child in me would love to see him go start your guy again, but look at everything he did, man. Look at everything he's still doing. For me, I want what makes him happy because he's a man, he's got a family and stuff. And if that means that he doesn't fight again, that's okay. But of course, I would love to see that guy in bare knuckle. Let him fight little heathen or something. You fucking kidding me? Oh, that'd be so cool, man.
Yeah, that would be an interesting fight. A lot of history there. And I was noticing to your point about getting to talk to McGregor, I saw you guys met at BKFC Sturgis. Like, what was that whole experience like just getting to talk to someone who, per your own words, a guy that was like a hero growing up?
It was really honoring and it was a very humbling experience. And I was lucky, and I forced myself in his section. I forced myself behind like the commentator's booth and stuff. Somebody's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I was like, "Nick, just chill, bro. I'm coming to talk to Connor." And I introduced myself, and I kind of just gave him a quick rundown, like, "Hey, I fight for the organization," and I showed him my tattoo. Of course, I got this for him, dude. And he's, "Oh, I love that. Let me see that again." And so I showed him, and then his guy, I don't remember his name, but one of his little entourage, he told me, he's like, "Listen, man, we got some Escalades out back. I think Connor likes you. You should go wait out back when we're done and we'll all chat." And so I waited out back and he came over, man. And we kind of just shot the shit. Of course, did a freaking million and one photos with the guy, took a video. I was starstruck. That's the only time in my life I've ever truly been starstruck. That was cool as fuck.
So you're not the type to like meet a celebrity and, feel a type of way about it. Like, have you had prior interactions in that kind of regard to compare it to, I guess?
Um, Honestly, dude, no. I don't really like, I'm not, it sounds silly, but I'm not really like of this world. I don't care about like rappers or celebrities or anybody on TV or nothing like that. I've seen those folks and it's like, hey, what's up, bro, or whatever. Uh, Maybe a close second. You know, Joe Coy, the comedian.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I recognize the name, yeah.
Yeah, so Joe Coy, he did a show in Tampa recently. Actually, the day after my last fight, my wife and I went, and I messaged him on Instagram, just being like, "Dude, good shit, like good show, for sure, the funniest show I've ever been to." And he messaged me back. We had a full on conversation, man. And he's telling me he's checking out my highlights and shit. And so I was blown away. That was honestly a pretty close second. But Connor's been number one for me so far.
Yeah, it's just so cool to see like you talk about, McGregor and how he is a family now and just one's priorities. It seems like those are such big things for you. Like I saw that family and fighting are the big important things for you. So just it's awesome. Yeah, seems like you're in a great place. And I saw Nathan Rivera had shouted you out and kind of gave an amen on an Instagram post, locked in and agreeing with you. So yeah, always good to see that. I feel like there's a nice camaraderie between many of the BKFC fighters from what I can glean from a lot of social media and all that.
Yeah, Nate Rivera is a really good dude, man. We actually had our first fight together on the same card. I believe it was when I fought Gary. I couldn't even tell you who he fought, dude, but he starts the fella, and of course he's a man of faith, so naturally we came together. I love that dude, man, and I believe in him with my whole heart. He's on this card too, dude. So we're that came full circle again. We've been chatting back and forth. Might do like post weigh in meal together or whatever. I like that dude a lot, man. He's got a big future in the sport.
Yeah, further illustrates how deep the card is. Like I was seeing a lot of bare knuckle fans describe it as like the deepest fight night card that they've done. And I guess I wasn't really even thinking to ask this, but it kind of just came to my mind here. Like, do you enjoy the fact that you're going to be fighting in like the smaller dimensions of the fight night rings as compared to the larger rings that they have for the numbered events? Like, does that inform your methodology at all or anything of that persuasion or not so much?
Not so much, and for this one especially because uh, what I think I'm seeing is Ace. I think he thinks that just because Keith applied a little pressure and he sat me down, that that's going to be his goal. He's going to come forward with the same thing. So it was probably going to be the same type of fight with the big ring or with the small ring. In my eyes, Ace is going to come forward pretty sloppily and he's going to get himself knocked out. Big ring, small ring, parking lot, bathroom, don't matter to me, brother. Let's just get down.
Well, I mean, that could be a great way to end things off in and of itself, but I figured I'd give you the floor in case you had a final parting thought you may want to add as we're kind of wrapping up here on Bare Knuckle Bowker. I appreciate the time and insights, Michael. Thank you.
No, man, thank you for having me, brother. Definitely looking forward to doing some more interviews with you. You're a good man, I can tell. So thank you for reaching out. Shout out to all my sponsors. Shout out Coco Phone. Shout out my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And make sure you guys tune in, man. I'm going to be sure to put on a show. It ain't going to last long, so don't blink.
Yeah, I'm going to be checking out this BKFC Fight Night on May 2nd for sure. And just such a great fight between yourself and Ace Samples. I feel like both of you guys really bring it. So, all the makings for an awesome fight. But again, to reiterate, thank you so much for the time today, man. You enjoy the rest of your day and all the best with the remaining stretch of the training preparations. And yeah, just have a good rest of your day and a good weekend, man. Thank you.
Dude, brother, thank you so